Greetings and salutations, this is Tech Renaud here, back with more Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. We are now officially in the second half of the Let's Play. The second half being like the last video, the end of the last video is the halfway point basically. Because at the time of recording this, I have about 18 videos of footage because I've cut down and put together a couple videos to get rid of the 2 videos. I'm probably not going to be doing it anymore though because from this point on, almost all the gameplay is kind of important to keep in, unless it's a section where I keep dying over and over again. Which, like, for those sections, my mentality of those sections, a great example of this is the Crash 4 Let's Play, because there you can actually tell how I do it. But my mentality for, like, deaths and videos is I don't cut them all out. I'll leave in 1 or 2. If it's an area where I die over and over again, I'll leave in 1 or 2 deaths and just cut out the rest. Sometimes I'll cut them all out after the first one. That's actually how I've been doing it for Rift Apart when I do cut out times I die. But I think I've only died like 2 or 3 times. I don't know. I don't remember. Sorry if I'm incorrect about that.
Were you saying something, Pierre? I stopped risk.
Man, ice water hits. Well, it's not ice water. It's a water bottle that is ice cold, but that really hits this time of year. Like at the time of doing this commentary, it's the very end of June, and like the end of June to like mid-July, that's when water really hits the most. But that's when like cold water is really good. Like it's just amazing. It like feels better to drink than anything else. At least in Georgia, because for me it's the middle of summer. I know in other parts of the world this time of year it's cold, but no, here it's hot. So whenever the middle of the hot time of year is for you, that's basically what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm out of ammo. What gun am I using? Oh, the Negatron Collider. You see, the Negatron Collider doesn't have much ammo, but it kind of makes up for it. You can kind of take out a bunch of enemies with it with 1 beam. And that's why I love the fucking weapon so much. Like, I can abuse the fuck out of it. And it kind of makes sense why they gave it such limited ammo. Because if they gave it any more, it would have been OP. But the Negatron Collider manages to feel OP without actually being OP. Because due to the limited ammo, you're not, like, you're not killing everything. The Rhino in this game kind of does that in a sense too, because the way the Rhino in this game works kind of avoids that in a way, but there's still enemy scenarios where it will take out every enemy when you use it. It just depends on how the enemies are placed, because the Rhino in this game just drops on enemies rather than spraying them like 2016 game does, and I kind of prefer it. I kind of prefer this version of the Rhino over the 2016 game. I kind of do. Actually, and something I'd like to point out is the robot pirates with guns, including this big guy here, they're using the bouncer. That's something I didn't realize because I've never used the bouncer before into the challenge mode of this. Because I didn't have it in the 2016 game, and I never played the original game it was in. Because I didn't pre-order the 2016 game. I got it after it came out, like a week or 2 after it came out. So yeah, they're using the bouncer, which is something I realized in my challenge mode run. Which my challenge mode run's almost done. I'm basically at this point of the game in my challenge mode run. Or actually I'm at the end of this point of the game, like the end of this level is where I'm at. Like I'm about to go to the next level in my challenge mode run. So I'm about the same point that this video is in, but I noticed it after I unlocked the bouncer and saw how it works, that they're using the bouncer, which is interesting. Because sometimes in Ratchet and Clank games, it feels like the enemies aren't using the same weapons as you, especially the robot enemies. But it's really cool when they do. Like, I thought, as many problems as the 2016 game has, one thing I could say about Quark's boss fight is that he uses the combustor against you, he uses the Groovatron against you, I think he uses the Warmonger against you. Like, it feels really cool because he's using the same weapons you have. He doesn't use your whole roster. He uses like 3 or 4 of them, but it's still cool nonetheless. It's a cool idea, and I'm kind of glad that like they gave the Robot Pirates a similar thing. The Robot Pirates' guns are the bouncer, which is really cool. I love that idea. The Nefarious Troopers seem to just have blasters, like regular blasters, not the blaster we have in this game. Which actually, to give credit where credit is due, the blaster in this game, I have now decided is factually better than the Combustor in the 2016 game, which I now remember the name of that weapon. I believe the Combustor is actually from Tools of Destruction. I don't remember. I'm gonna look it up. But I think the Combustor is from Tools of Destruction. But this one's actually better because once you level it up, because the Combustor at max doesn't really do much. It really don't.
No, I am broken.
But yeah.
As is everything. Nothing can be fixed.
Anyway.
Oh my.
I'm not gonna check where the Combustor is from. I'm just gonna risk being wrong for once. Because I check everything. And I need to stop doing that. Yeah, this right here, this is the fixer, I believe they called it. And I already died trying to get to him, but yeah, I still think it's really cool that the Robot Pirates use the bouncer. It is. It's actually a great choice of a weapon to give them too, because it's unique. Because aside from the Quark boss in the 2016 game, it always feels like Ratchet and Clank enemies. If they ever do use the weapons you have, it's like the most basic ones they're using. I don't remember if any enemies in Crack in Time use the weapons you do, or Tools of Destruction, or Deadlock. I don't. Because those are the 3 games I played the most outside of this game and the 2016 game. I played the 2016 game 3 times because it was the only Ratchet and Clank game I had access to until I got a PS5. And when I got a PS5, I had to get this game because I'm sorry, but I love the series too much to just be playing the 2016 game over and over again. Now I have a much better game to play over and over again whenever I get the itch to play Ratchet and Clank. And I'm hoping that they release another Ratchet and Clank game during this cycle, which they probably will, because this game to me feels like it's setting up a new trilogy in a way. And I'm not saying a new trilogy like, oh, Kit and Rivet will be in all 3 games, like that sort of deal. No. This feels like a setup for another game. Or actually, this feels like a setup for a longer story in a way. In a few ways. Because 1, it introduces like hopping dimensions. 2, it has the subplot of Ratchet deciding whether or not he wants to go see the Lombax and Clank. And yeah, Rivet and Kit might join them for that because Clank and Rivet have a conversation about it where Rivet asks if she can come with him and Ratchet to see his Lombaxes. Which is a really neat detail because if that does happen, then we get Rivet again, which I love Rivet, so I'm not against that. Even if that's actually a good reason to bring her back too without shoehorning her in the next game. So like if they do roll with it and make a direct sequel to this, I feel like it's going to be dimension hopping. Kind of like this game is, but this game mostly takes place in one dimension. I feel like if they make a direct sequel to this, and this is a really good idea, and I think Insomniac should really do it. I feel like if they make a direct sequel to this, almost every planet in that game will be in a different dimension. There'll be a plot relating to somebody trying to control the dimensions or something like that. Maybe Emperor Nefarious comes back, or maybe they introduce a new villain, which I feel like the new villain route is the smarter route to take, because as much as I love Dr. Nefarious, I don't think he should be in all 3 of these games if this does become a new trilogy. But I think this game does a fantastic job setting up a possible trilogy, especially the setup for the next game. Because the next game could be the dimension hopping to try to stop someone from controlling the dimensions. and the plot could have started with them trying to find the Lombax.
Thank you.
It'd be a really great
You just
setup.
gave
It'd be an
old
excuse to
giant
bring Rivet and
robot the
Kit
gift
back,
of hope.
because I
It
know
should be
people love
I
Rivet,
who
so
is
it'd be a
thanking
good
you.
excuse to bring them back with Ratchet and Clank, and maybe throw in Quark, because he doesn't get like much going on in this game, so maybe
Let's
throw
get
in
back to the
Quark
ship,
just to
shall
give
we?
him a little more to do in the next game.
Oh, I hope Ratchet
Fun
had an
fact,
easier
and
time
I actually
building a
found
new
this interesting.
Dimensionator.
Quark and Pierre, I
Sorry,
believe,
sorry,
both
one-
actually, I know Pierre does, at least I think he does, have different voice actors for their dimensional counterparts. But Skid and Marks in the Phantom are both voiced by, what's the dude's name? Jess Harnell. Voiced by Jess Harnell, who also voices Crash. He also voices one of the 3 main characters of the Animaniacs. What else do I know Jess Harnell from? I don't really know him from anything else. I just know him from those 3 things, if I'm being honest. I could look him up and check, but I don't think I will.
Are we gonna talk
I
about
think he
you
might have
rescuing
voiced in
me back
Samurai
there?
Jack. I could be wrong about that.
He did.
The only actors
like
I
you're a natural
know
even in my dimension.
were in Samurai Jack,
Thank you,
at least
Rivet.
at one point or another, or Phil Lamar, Mako, who I think his name was Mako. I'm sorry, the guy's dead, and I'm probably calling him the wrong name. Let me look up his name. I gotta give the guy respect, because even though Greg Baldwin did a pretty good job voicing Aku in the PS4 game that came out, and he did a decent enough job voicing him in Season 5. It was a little weird, but he did a decent job. I want to credit the original voice actor, because the guy was like the best Aku. Like, Greg Baldwin does a good impression of him. Okay, yeah, it's Mako. So it was Phil Lamar, Mako, Greg Baldwin, who later replaced Mako, John DiMaggio. Okay, Phil Lamar voiced the main character, Samurai Jack. I'm sorry about hitting the mic. I was moving my hands around. But Phil Lamar voiced Samurai Jack. Mako and Greg Baldwin voiced Aku. Greg Delisle Griffin voiced the mother to the sisters of Aku in Season 5. She also voiced some recurring characters in the first 4 seasons. And she voiced a character, I don't know her name, but she was a recurring character in the first 4 seasons, and she returns in the PS4 game. But I don't know her name. But she's voiced by Greg Delisle Griffin. Tara Strong voiced Ashi, and I believe a few other characters. Tom Kenny was everywhere in Samurai Jack. The guy voices so many characters, it's ridiculous. Rob Paulson voices this like scientist dog dude. I forgot his name too. It's been a while since I watched Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack is one of my favorite series, so I do remember a lot about it. I just don't remember some names because these characters only show up here and there. The most recurring ones, the Scotsman and Ashi.
How are you
I think
not
they have the
afraid
most
of the
appearances
future?
out of the recurring cast.
With all of
But
its
yeah,
unknowns.
other than them,
do get,
Kevin Michael Richardson voices a few characters,
You
a
asked
few
me on
recurring
Savali
characters,
if I wanted to
along
find
with
my
some
family.
one-offs.
For
I
a
know he
long
voices
time,
Demongo, who is a recurring character and a
really
recurring
did,
boss
but
in the PS4 game.
The closer I got to doing that, what
Tom
if not
Kenny,
what
who I just
expected?
mentioned was
What if
everywhere,
I'm not what
did
they
voice
expected?
Scaramouche in
I
Season
just-
5, and Scaramouche got like 4 episode
Anyways,
appearances, and then he
I
appeared.
think we're here.
He got his own section of the PS4 game, which was great. Scaramouche, Aku, and the Scotsman are my 3 favorite Samurai Jack characters. But that's all the VAs I'm gonna
The only
mention.
ruby on Forge strong enough to build the Dimensionator.
So it's our only shot. Good to know.
I know there are others, but Samurai Jack is kind of like the definition of my childhood voice cast, because all those VAs I mentioned, them along with Maurice LaMarche and Cree Summer were basically in everything I watched growing up. At least a few of them were in everything.
That better not be the only
You
way
know,
into the station.
like every show I watched at least had 2 of them in there. Like Teen Titans had Kevin Michael Richardson, it had Tara Strong, it had who else? There was someone else. It had John DiMaggio at one point. who voiced Brother Blood. Brother Blood is a great villain too. It also has Ron Perlman, who did a great job as Slade. Another great example of a show that has those voices that I heard growing up was Codename Kiss Next Door, who had Maurice LaMarche, I'm sorry if I'm butchering the name. I don't know which way it's pronounced, but he's one of my favorite voice actors. But he voiced his father in Codename Kiss Next Door. I know they also had Grey Delisle Griffin play a character in Codename Kiss Next Door, and I believe yeah, Cree Summer was in that. She voiced one of the main 5 characters. Cree Summer was in that. Another good example would be there's so many shows to choose from. That's why I'm like struggling. Courage the Cowardly Dog's not a good example. It's one of my favorite shows ever, but I think the only one of those VAs to ever appear in it might be, and this is a big might be because I don't even know if he's in it. I think Tom Kenny probably voiced on it at one point. The guy's in everything. But there's also SpongeBob that had Tom Kenny, Clancy Brown, who I forgot to mention.
There must be another way in.
I think that's all SpongeBob has, surprisingly. Like that show really didn't have the go-to VAs for everything. But the Ratchet and Clank series is also a good example because they have Kevin Michael Richardson voice the original version of Drek. Which I know that's not a cartoon, that's a video game series, but still, that's a good example. The Crash Bandicoot series is a good example because Maurice LaMarche voiced Embryo at one point, who is now voiced by Roger Craig Smith, who does a fantastic job. We do not acknowledge Tom Kenny Embryo, but Tom Kenny has voiced in the series, technically speaking. We do not acknowledge Tom Kenny Embryo because that was not bad on Tom Kenny's part. That was bad on the casting decisions part because they had other VAs already casted for the game that would have done a better job. And I think I've complained about that in a video before. I might not have. I might have forgot to ever mention it. But John DiMaggio and Dwight Schultz, I think that's how you say his name, they would have both done a better job as Embryo than Tom Kenny. No offense to Tom Kenny, he's a really talented VA, and he was already voicing for the game for Spyro, and I think he does a great job as Spyro. Honestly, I love his voice work as Spyro in the Reignited trilogy especially. It's a little weird in CGR Nitro Fuel, but then again, every VA in that game sounds off in some way except for Lex Lang. Honestly speaking, like Lex Lang is the only one who doesn't sound weird, and I don't put the blame on the voice casting because a lot of the voices in that game are the same ones that voiced them in the Insane trilogy, or voiced them at some other point, like Crash of the Titans or Crash 4, Crash Mind Over Mutant, Crash Insanity. I'm someone who actually enjoys almost every Crash game, even Titans and Mind Over Mutant. The only Crash games I don't like are Crash Boom Bang, which is hot garbage.
How?
And you can't deny that I'm right about that. And Crash Bandicoot Purple Ripto.
You sell yourself
or
short.
Purple Ripto's Rampage, whatever it was called. That one wasn't that good either, because I have played the GBA games.
I don't want to risk it.
That was the only one I didn't like. So those two are the only Crash games I didn't at some point enjoy. I feel like current me would not enjoy Crash of the Titans, Mind Over Mutant, or Wrath of Cortex anymore, but growing up I enjoyed those.
Who knows if it was
Especially Mind Over Mutant, because Maurice LaMarche Embryo saved the writing for that game, because yeah, the comedy in Titans and Mind Over Mutant isn't that good, but Maurice LaMarche nails it. And so does Lex Lang, honestly. You gotta give credit where credit is due. Lex Lang, still voicing Cortex to this day, is deserved. If they ever recast him for any reason other than Lex quitting the role, it'll just be a really stupid decision. If Lex quits the role for whatever reason or decides to stop doing it, that's one thing. That's fine. That's whatever. That's your decision, my guy. If you don't want to do it no more, you don't gotta do it anymore. But if they ever fire him or replace him as Cortex, and it isn't his decision, then yeah, it would just be really dumb. Same reason why it would be really dumb to replace Mike Pollock as Dr. Eggman, or to replace Armin Shimmerman as Dr. Nefarious, or even David Kaye as Clank in the Ratchet and Clank series. Like, I don't think anybody could capture Clank's voice the same way. I know there's people who can do a good impression, but it wouldn't capture it the same way. But yeah, we are in my favorite level of the game now. I've been hyping this up, and I came into this level talking about voice acting. But what am I doing? Like, this level is amazing, at least this part of the level. The other part of the level's okay. Not too big on it, it's just basically running through and killing enemies. But this part's amazing. Like, I love the atmosphere here. I love certain sections of it. I love the NPC we meet here. Like, we're about to meet him soon. But Junkbot is just great. He's my favorite NPC in the game. He actually made me laugh initially. I don't know if he's gonna make me laugh in this video, but he did initially make me laugh on my first run of this game. And to give credit, again, I know I've said this like twice in this video, but to give credit where credit is due, this game's humor is a lot better, and there were quite a few times I laughed, at least on the inside. Like, I mentioned Clank cusses later on and he gets bleeped out, and if Clank actually if they actually, like, didn't bleep it out, and it was just Clank cussing, it wouldn't have really been funny. But the thing that makes it funny is that it's censored. In-game dialogue is censored out of nowhere, and it's just so hilarious. And Junkbot is hilarious too. We're about to meet him. As soon as we enter this room, I'm gonna shut up because we gotta let the comedy sink in.
But you're not.
Is he okay?
I'm Ratchet.
Oh, that is great. Hello, Ratchet. Were you looking for me? That would be great too. Ooh, can I call you Chet?
No. And no. I'm looking for some Blizon.
Oh, I know just the place. But I lost my access arm in all of this water. Have to drain it, but how, Ratch? How?
Calm down. I'll handle it.
Can I call you Chet? I'm sorry, that's funny. I don't know why that's funny. I couldn't really explain to you why that joke works. I mean, it's better than hashtag Gadgetron. Sorry, but that's still the dumbest joke ever. But like, you can at least understand why it's funnier than that. You can at least like understand why it's funnier than anything in the 2016 game, aside from the "whoa, dude" voice line. Like, Junkbot is funny. He's funny. I think he only made me laugh like 3 or 4 times, but that's more than any other character does in this game and in the series, honestly. I've never laughed at Quark. I like Quark. I think he's enjoyable. Same with Nefarious. Actually, no, I have laughed at Nefarious more than 3 or 4 times, so I guess not more than everyone in the series, because Nefarious has made me laugh quite a few times. So, there's no. In this game, Nefarious made me laugh once, but he made me laugh like 2 or 3 times in A Crack in Time, and he made me laugh when I watched Let's Plays of the Arsenal game. I'm about to meet this guy.
What is that?
That is Juice, my best friend. He tries to kill me sometimes, but he's a great listener.
He tries to
That is Juice, my best friend.
You can call him Juicy.
You call him Juicy or Juice or JC. Oh, that would be a swell nickname. Like, dude, I could quote this guy. I could literally quote this guy. I can't quite do his voice, and I'm not trying to do his voice, but that is quotable right there. Oh, or JC, that would be a swell nickname. Like, for some reason, it's funny to me. I can't explain why, but that's funny to me. It really is.
Bam! Now let me just press the
Like, his whole character is just funny to me, and I couldn't tell you why. I don't know if it's the line delivery. I don't know if there's just something about the jokes that I'm getting
Madness is... Oh, wait.
it, like, consciously getting, but I'm not, like, directly getting. Like, I'm not thinking about what's funny about it. I just feel what's funny about it, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know why it makes me laugh. I couldn't explain it. Because I don't even get, like, I can't even explain why the joke's funny. It just works. It works for his character. I guess that's the best way to explain it. It's a joke that works for his character. And that's probably why it makes me laugh. But yeah, Junkbot makes me laugh a few times. He's already made me laugh twice in this video. I don't know how many more times he's gonna make me laugh, but you'll have to wait and see. You'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I do need to do the song of the day. This is probably going to be the most entertaining commentary of the entire Let's Play, because I was talking about voice acting, which I'm really passionate about. Now, like, I'm like laughing and quoting Junkbot, which is probably really entertaining. But yeah. As soon as I send a message to somebody, I'm going to do the song of the day. I was just typing a message while I was talking. I can do that. I can multitask like that. I know not everyone can, but I can. I've gotten used to it. I'm a gamer, so I have to get used to that in a way. Because, like, sometimes I'll have to do something, or I'll have to read something or something in a video game while, like, moving around with my character. And, you know, like, it's just stuff like that. Today's song of the day, actually, I'm gonna look up the lyrics real quick, and I'm gonna probably butcher them to hell and back, but you know. I don't care. The song used to be a song of the day soon, even though, like, by the point this video comes out, it'll be 3 or 4 weeks old, maybe even older than that. That's how I know when I'm in the studio with the doggy in California, cause my homie from Long Beach always got that bomb weed. That's why I feel a calm breeze every time my palm trees just like that blonde bleach. I went platinum then so did my albums. Calvin's turning me into a zombie, cause these buds are like the Hulk with twice the size of my RSB. And that is some strong green. Gotta contact, my contact lenses are foggy. I might end up in Walgreens pharmacy with my arm asleep, got off lead mixed with drama bean. I'm gonna treat Paula D like a fucking human pinball machine. Okay, I'm not gonna read that part, but yeah, the song. Okay.
Thanks for all your help, Junkbot.
Hold on.
My pleasure, rah-rah kitty.
What you do beside? What you do beside? You resided in 213. Let's see the blood stains of the USA. The east side was side of 303. Let's see the guns blaze. I don't know. I don't remember how the chorus goes actually, because I've never read the chorus lyrics before. The song is from the D2 to the LBC by Eminem and Snoop Dogg. It came out this year. It is the best Eminem song in years. I will give him that. Now, I like Music to Be Murdered by both side A and side B, but his albums before Music to Be Murdered by side A and after Bad Meets Evil were kind of lacking. But yeah.
What are you doing here?
That's actually a funny story.
Was I talking to you?
Yeah, this is not my Junkbot. He don't make me laugh.
Talking to me.
This Junkbot is a buzzkill kind of. He's also an idiot, but he's kind of a buzzkill. I don't like him. He's not my Junkbot. He's not my Junkbot.
Am inspecting your facility.
It is cool that we get to see an alternate dimension version of an NPC though, because we don't really get to see that too often in this game. I don't even know if we get to see it at any other point at all. We do get to see Mr. Zircon in a different form, and he's still an NPC in this game. But he's not used the same way. Like, he's not Gadget like he is in the other games. But yeah.
Nice save, Decorator Kit. What do we do now?
But yeah, the song of the day is Eminem featuring Snoop Dogg from the D2 to the LBC. It's kind of hard to say that name out loud, honestly, from the D to the LBC, But I can say it faster and For some reason, it's easier to say faster, but saying it slowly is like, it feels hard to say slowly. I don't know why. From the D to the LBC, like it feels hard to say it when you say it slower. But yeah, that's the song of the day, and the video is ending soon, so I'm just like padding out the commentary as best as I can without making it boring. You know, we gotta get up here, activate this thing. Yep, that's what we're doing. Oh, yuck. I'll fucking do it again. Yuck. I'm sorry, I won't do that again. I'm sorry. I noticed I started to do a funny voice to sound really close to that. If you've never watched the video that's from, I definitely recommend it. It's I forget the title of it, but it's basically an animation where Goofy is on trial for killing people. And I know that sounds like, I know the part of killing people is like not laughing matter, but it's the fact that it's Goofy. The way the video was written, and the fucking things that he says, basically, it's dark humor done in a way where it can be more understood by people who usually don't like dark humor. I like dark humor to a point. If you make a Holocaust joke, I'm not gonna laugh though. Like that, I have my limits. There are things that if you joke about it, it's too far for me. But I will laugh at most dark humor jokes. But yeah, I am going to end off the video here, so bye!
Game over!